Well, it is almost Election Day, and one of the many issues that Douglas County residents will be asked on the November Election Day ballots is whether they will vote for or against a mill levy bond issue for Douglas County School District. We talked a lot about the new schools that are needed in growing parts of the county there and the wide discrepancy in teacher pay compared to other districts. Just a couple of the reasons behind the ask for these funds. To talk more about that is Board President, Director Mike Peterson. Thank you so much for being with us today. We appreciate it.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, Howard. Appreciate you coming in here and spending a little time. We always like to talk about these issues and make sure that we answer as many of those questions as we can. So first, if you would, just explain to us what the county is asking for here.
Sure. There are two initiatives on the ballot for Douglas County this year, and the first is 5A, which is a mill levy override. And a mill levy override is where we go to the taxpayers and the voters and we ask for a little bit of extra funding for the district. Funding for all school districts is set by the legislature through the School Finance Act, which consists of local funding and then state funding. And as the local share goes up, as it will this year, the state funding goes down and the district gets $0 additional dollars. So the only way we get additional dollars is asking for voters to give us a little extra through a mill levy override. So that's Initiative 5A. And then 5B is the bond, and that's for capital expenses. We've only passed one mill levy and bond in the last 17 years here in Douglas County. Most other districts pass them every 3.5 to 4 years. And what 5B will do is build new neighborhood schools, 3 of them for the first time since 2010, and then expand to middle schools to handle more students, in addition to security upgrades, special education upgrades, and other things, including our maintenance on 111 buildings, which is about $35 million per year.
So I know that Douglas County is growing, especially in some of these newer suburbs, and that's where some of these new schools are needed, correct?
Absolutely. We can't pick up schools in areas where we have declining growth and put them in areas of extreme growth. And really that's what's going on in Douglas County. We have some areas like Sterling Ranch, the Canyons, up in Crystal Valley, the whole Crowfoot corridor, which are really growing at this time, and the local residents expect to have neighborhood schools there.
Let's talk a little bit about, I know the school board, we've done stories on the school board before, kind of not always being in agreement on the issues that they're tackling, but this is one that all the school board members are in agreement on, that this money needs to come in.
Yeah, absolutely. And this school board is what you would call a split board. We have some people on the left, right, and middle. But this is something that the school board directors have agreed on unanimously. Back on August 8th, we voted 7-0 to not just put the bond and the MLO on the ballot. We also agreed to exactly what those costs would be for teachers. So we preemptively voted on future pay and compensation schedules for all our staff should the MLO pass. And we also voted on a bond plan. And both of those on the ballot include citizen oversight to make sure the funds are spent correctly.
Yeah, because that's always a big question, right? Is the money going to go where I want it to go, or where the district says that it's going? Anything else we need to throw out there real quickly before we wrap this up?
Yeah, I would say this is just about the future of Douglas County. Last year, we were short roughly 50 school bus drivers, but still were able to do 98% of our routes. This year, we were short over 100, and we've gone to rolling blackouts. We started this year down over 50 teachers in education, over 155 educational assistants. We were down even more bus drivers, as I mentioned, and we were moving from urgent to a crisis. And if we hope to attract and retain and keep the excellence we have in Douglas County, #1 in the district, #1 in the Denver metro area, but the lowest paying. We have a $19,000 gap with Cherry Creek and other closest competitors. So all we're trying to do with 5A and 5B is close that gap by half so we can continue to attract, retain, and reward our awesome staff.
Awesome. Mike Peterson, thank you so much for coming in. We appreciate it.